time.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Underestimated Podcast. It is your host, Jeremy Orr, back with another episode. I'm not sick. I'm tired. It is 3:17, and I'm tired already. But, before I try to lay down, I do need a nap. I think if I'm going to try to do a couple of more productive things today, then I need to take a nap to kind of recharge, rejuvenate. So, I'm trying to knock this out so I can go do exactly that. Because I didn't want to get in bed and then get out of bed to make it up again just to record this. So I was like, when I get in bed, let me make sure I got everything done before I do that. So I'm sorry if this episode seems very low energy, but that's literally what it is. It's low energy because I don't have much of it right now. But I'm not going to cheat y'all. Just, I'm do the best I can with what we got. And so this is another instance, right, where I'm going to come to you guys and talk about something that I take no pride or likeness to talking about. But, the one thing that I've realized, being in the sports broadcast journalism business for the past 3 years now, I've realized that it is my obligation to give y'all what y'all deserve and what y'all need, regardless of how I may feel about a certain individual or certain sport or whatever. I say that because yesterday, my episode about Duke came out. So plug that in here. If y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. And I have been a Duke fan. Duke has been my dream school since I was like 7. So obviously I was not head over heels about coming on here and talking about that, but I had to. It's my obligation to do. And clearly, judging by the reactions that I got immediately from peers and others right after Duke literally lost to UConn, it's what y'all wanted. So of course I'm gonna do it. But I'm saying that to also say with this, right? Because y'all can see in the thumbnail and the title. Today we're talking about Israel Adesanya. Anybody knows me knows that Izzy's definitely like one of my top 5 favorite UFC fighters of all time. But the things that I have seen be done to him in his past couple of fights, it's a hard watch for me. It's getting to the point where regardless of who he fights, I want to and will root for Izzy. Unless he's fighting somebody else in my top 5. But I don't necessarily have that confidence like I used to with Izzy, to where it's like, oh, if Izzy's fighting, oh, Izzy's gonna win. Like I got no doubt Izzy's about to go in there and whoop him. Like it's over with. I don't have that confidence in Izzy anymore. And so that's why I said I think we need to have a uncomfortable conversation about Izzy. Maybe it is time, which sounds crazy to say because of how young technically he still is. Especially, in a world like the UFC, he's definitely extremely young, and ideally, theoretically, has a lot more time to give to the sport. Me personally, though, where I stand, where I see things going, how I've seen things transpire lately, I am of the mindset that Israel Adesanya should very seriously consider going into retirement. I think it's about time for him to hang up the gloves, or yeah. It would be it wouldn't be a good day for me, because like I said, I love Izzy. Like, Izzy's been my favorite guy for at least the past 5 years. So obviously, I would hate for him to leave, but I also think this comes into factor as well, right? If you know, you know. But one of the unwritten rules in the game of basketball, when you're practicing playing by yourself, is you never leave the court on a miss. Whether you got to make a layup, free throw, whatever shot you take, you cannot leave the court on a miss. I'm saying that to say that I would hate to see Izzy lose like he did the other day, and then that be it, because that's gonna be the literal last thing that we, you know, remember of Izzy, and I hate that because it's so much more great things he's accomplished in his career. So that's why I'm more so of the mindset that, yeah, go ahead and get your win somehow, and then once you get it, hang it up. I take, you know, I'm not happy with saying this at all. I say this is my guy, but after what transpired the other night, I don't like where things are going for Izzy. I just don't, and that's just the hard truth when it comes to Izzy. And for those of you that are not aware of what I am talking about, so at UFC, trying to see which one it is. I want to say 328. I don't think that's entirely correct though. Okay, so I guess it was just like some sort of just fight night, because it doesn't really have like a number attached to it. But anyway, it was on March 28th. So today's the 31st, so 3 days ago, which was on a Saturday at 8 p.m. Israel Adesanya in the main event of UFC Fight Night against Joe Pyfer lost via KO TKO with 4:18 left to go in the second round. It's tough, and I'm not even the only person, believe it or not, that is of the belief that Izzy should retire. But after doing research, it is clear that Izzy is not considering retirement, which I love that if it allows him to actually turn the corner. Like, if this is his way of pushing himself to string together 4 or 5 consecutive wins after this, I'm all for it, because I want to see Izzy win. Like, because that's the Izzy I know and remember. This version of Izzy, I don't know who this is right now. This ain't Izzy right now. But because right now his record is 24-6, and Joe Pyfer is now 16-3. I don't know what's going on with Izzy. Like, Izzy just, I mean, yeah, he's dealt with some injuries. But I mean, this is a combat sport, so I mean, injuries are pretty much inevitable. And I don't know. It's just tough to see it happen to Izzy. For me, it's tough to see it happen to Izzy for me. What's next? I don't know, because I don't even think he's ranked in the middleweight division. So the way this looks, he's gonna have to earn a spot in the ranking and then climb his way back up. And we're talking about Izzy. It's not the typical road you expect somebody like Israel Adesanya to take in the UFC. But I think what it is that, I don't know, maybe Izzy's just lost his spark. That happens in all sports, not just the UFC. I mean, everybody at some point kind of just falls off a cliff and he's kind of just floating in midair for a while until they come back down to ground level. But you talk about Izzy, right? Izzy, like I said, I would prefer that he goes out with a win. That would be my preference. So let's talk about all of Izzy's past fights. So Izzy started out in 2012, March 24th. Beat James Griffith, and I'm just gonna go up the line here. Win against John Vank. Win against Song Keenan. Win against Maui Tuigamala. Win against Jao Yang. Win against Vladimir Kadikin. Win against Debur Zagarov. Win against Andrew Flores Smith. Win against Murad Kuramagomedov. Win against Melvin Gilliard. Win against Stuart Dare. Win against Rob Wilkinson. Win against Marvin Vittori. Win against Brad Tavares. Win against Derek Brunson. Win against Anderson Silva. And this is kind of at the point where he started to make a name for himself, truly. Win against Anderson Silva. Win against Kevin Gastelum. Win against Robert Whitaker. Win against Yoel Romero. Win against Paulo Costa. And then here comes his very first loss ever in 2021 against Jan Blachowicz by decision, unanimous decision. Then he shakes back, gets a win against Marvin Vittori again, Robert Whitaker, and Jared Cannonier. All wins right there. Then he loses to Pereira in 2022, beats Pereira in 2023, and then now he has 4 consecutive losses from the hands of Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis, Naswardan Almavov, and now most recently being Joe Pyfer. It's honestly somewhat baffling to think that the person that we're referring to right now is Izzy. I'm not trying to make it seem as if Izzy is the greatest of all time, because he's not. To me, that is John Jones. But I'm not gonna sit here like Izzy isn't up there. Like, you can't, make a debate for Izzy being up there. It's just it's a tough thing, because right now he's 36. And no league in sports gets older. It only gets younger. It's so... Wow, Izzy's pushing 40. But what I'm saying is, I don't know. Maybe there's a world where he gets that fifth straight loss in a row, and then he officially decides. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm more so on the side of saying like maybe he should just strongly consider it, not actually do it. But then again, I feel like you gotta go and get a win. Like for me to regain that confidence I once had in you as a fighter, you gotta go like string a couple of wins together. Like I would love for Izzy to hoist that middleweight trophy all over again, middleweight belt. But he's gotta find himself, look in the mirror, and realize I'm Izzy. Like this is the person that's fighting right now, or as of recently the past what like 3 years. I ain't been Izzy because you got to think about it. What he did, right? He knocks off the hottest name, or basically who's been the hottest name in the UFC for the past couple of years in Alex Pereira. And then you go on a 4-fight losing streak to guys that don't really come close to Alex Pereira. Sean Strickland, Dricus Du Plessis, Almavov, and Piper. It's truly disheartening. I hope Izzy, like I said, I hope he finds a way to turn the corner. I don't know who his next fight could potentially be. And I mean, he didn't look. Yeah, he didn't look like Izzy in that fight, but he didn't look like atrocious. Like it wasn't an atrocity to watch Izzy in that fight. He had some moments, he had some flashes, but that's not what we're used to seeing from Izzy. We're used to seeing Izzy dominate as soon as the bell rings. That did not happen against Joe Pyfer. I mean, you talk about somebody like maybe like a Yusri Belgoroy. I probably butchered a lot of names. I'm sorry, but I feel like y'all should know. If y'all are UFC, um, you know, experts like me, then you should know these names that I'm referring to. Maybe they, are the next fight because he's currently 10-3, 2-0 in the UFC. Maybe that's Izzy's tune-up fight. And I think there's a lot of ways he can go with this. So let's look at this, right? So the current middleweight champion is Khamzat Chimaev. Okay, guys, I was wrong. I thought he was not ranked. He is actually ranked. I don't know how recently this has been. Okay, no, I see it. Okay, last update was today. Okay, all right. So as of now, the middleweight rankings are as follows. 15, you got Roman Dolidze. 14, Paulo Costa. 13, Christian Leroy Duncan. 12 is Gregory Rodriguez. 11 is Jared Connor. 10, Robert Whitaker. 9 is Izzy. Above Izzy, you have Rainier De Ritter, Joe Pyfer, who actually moved up 8 spots after beating Izzy. And that just goes to show you the cachet that Izzy still has, even coming off with would have been a 3-game losing streak before he fought Pyfer. Joe Pyfer, according to this, was the number what, like 15, number 15 guy in the ranking. You beat Izzy. You jump up 8 spots. Anthony Hernandez is 6. Caio Barallo is 5. Brendan Allen is 4. Sean Strickland at 3. Duplessis is number 1, and Amavov is 2. So looking at this, obviously he's had trouble with Dricus, because I think 3 of those fights are to the hands of Sean Strickland, Amavov, and Duplessis. So I would not recommend, as much as I love Izzy and I would still have faith if he were to fight anybody. Well, I get what I mean, because I just said, I'm not as confident, but I'm going to keep faith. Faith and confidence is different. Maybe you fight Brendan Allen. Maybe Brendan Allen is the guy that you fight for your tune-up. Because of the guys that are ahead of him, he hasn't fought Brendan Allen, Barallo, Hernandez, or DeRitter. Maybe he fights Barallo to get in that top 5 spot. I don't think jumping or moving down a weight class would help him. So I don't know. I truly wish the best for Izzy, but things are not looking good right now. Yeah, so I mean, maybe you look at it and he fights Barallo, because Barallo only major fight is against the Ritter and Condor. He beat both of them, but other than that, doesn't really have any substantial fights that stick out to me. So maybe Izzy can take him. Izzy can take him. Yeah, Izzy could take him. We'll see. I think he just, I believe he's going to just take some time off and kind of see where his options are and sort of go from there. And yeah, I just really hope this thing turns around for Izzy, because it's not easy as one of his biggest fans to see the trajectory in which he is going right now. But I think I can speak for all Izzy fans in that regard. No, none of us are liking what we're seeing from Izzy right now, and that's just the hard truth, But it is what it is, I think that is it for me, though. I am tired. I need to take a nap. Hopefully, I can take a pretty good one. And so this will drop tomorrow. Got this dropping tomorrow, and then a surprise interview with someone on Friday. So stay tuned for that, because that was pretty good. I'm really excited about it. It's a little different, but a good different for sure. So I definitely feel really good about that. So yeah. Anyways, though, if you haven't watched it yet, go watch the previous episode about me talking about Duke and how they have now for another consecutive year gotten to the NCAA tournament and lost way earlier than they basically should have. But it is what it is, I'm gonna get out of here, though. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and always remember, don't underestimate, appreciate. Go.